I've hit over 1,000 workouts, and in doing so, I've learned what it takes to motivate myself and like learn a bunch of motivation hacks. And in this video, I'm going to give you like the top 3 ones that if you use, you'll go to the gym effortlessly. So you need to pay full attention. You see, in learning these motivation hacks, I kid you not, I could go to the gym 7 days a week whenever I really wanted to. At least, like most weeks, I'd go minimum 6 times a week, but sometimes I'd go 7. Now, looking back, that was stupid. Like, I never needed to go 7 days a week. I wasn't even really training that hard, but that's a whole, like, side point that we don't need to get into right now. But it's all to say that it is possible, that I could do it easily, and it's because I learned these motivation tactics so early on. You see, getting addicted to the gym and like using motivation to get to that point isn't even that hard. Like, I'm gonna be honest, it's not that hard. Like, you think it's hard, you think it's complex, but in reality it's not. It's really simple to get addicted to the gym and to start using motivation hacks. You just gotta understand how, like, what motivation is, and once you do that, it'll be, I promise, it's so simple. And the first thing is understanding what discipline and motivation actually are. Discipline is doing something even though you don't feel like doing it. But motivation is doing it because you want to do it. Motivation is doing it when you want to do it. Discipline is doing it even though you don't want to. And now we're talking about motivation. Discipline is necessary, by the way. That's one thing I want to point out. There's a lot of like people who are like, who've consumed too much David Goggins content and they're so anti-motivation. Where they're like, nah, I don't like motivation. I'm all about discipline. Now, don't get me wrong. Discipline is necessary. We need to be able to go to the gym even though we don't want to. But would you not want to feel motivated? Like, all these guys who talk about discipline and they're like, oh, David Goggins, my Lord and Savior. They're all like so weird and they stay on the internet too much. Of course you would want to, like, bro, who wouldn't want to be able to feel like going to the gym 24/7? If you had the choice between being disciplined in everything you do or being motivated in everything you do, I would choose motivated every single time. Why? Because how great would it feel wanting to do the work? How great would it feel that you want to study, that you want to go to the gym, that you want to record these videos? How great would that feel that you want to do the hard thing? Because I'm telling you, it's absolutely possible. It doesn't need to be difficult. In terms of motivation, the first thing I learned was actually to use discipline, which sounds counterintuitive because discipline is doing it when you don't feel like it, but motivation is doing it because you feel like it. But if you can become disciplined, after a while, you won't need the discipline anymore. So, whilst I was starting out, I'll be honest, it was difficult to actually do it sometimes. It was actually somewhat difficult to sit down and do the sit-ups or the push-ups or the squats, because I used to just do home workouts, but then after a while I actually went into the gym. Sometimes it was difficult, but after like a month of just doing the hard work, especially when I don't feel like it, that's a quote from Hamza. When I did the hard work, even though I didn't feel like it, after a while I just felt like doing it, and it was just normal to do it. It wasn't like, oh, life's so hard. It was just like, alright, today we're doing some push-ups, sit-ups and squats, done. That was it. And it's that specific phrase you need to use, doing the hard work, especially when you don't feel like it. Because once you do the work, especially when you don't feel like it, like, you'll actually want to start doing it, because it's like, yeah, this is the most important time. Doing it now is the most important time. When you do it, even though you don't feel like it, that is way better than doing it when you feel like it, because you've done this before, right? Where like you've only done like the exercise when you wanted to. You've never done it when you didn't want to. But when you start doing it when you don't want to, you start gaining self-respect. And then you actually start making more progress because you're doing it more often. And then when you see changes in your physique, that's when you're like, yeah, I've got it. Yeah, this is great. You'll feel so proud of yourself when you've done the hard work, especially when you don't feel like it. So I know we're talking about motivation, and it's weird for me to mention, like, the first motivation hack is discipline, but you'll just understand when you actually start using discipline, I promise. The second motivation tactic, and I promise you, this one, no one on the internet ever speaks about this, I promise, but if you learn it, you will never run out of motivation again, I promise you. If you can learn to use this, no matter what area in life you want to use this in, you will get motivation for life as long as you want, and that is a promise. And it is using your dark desires. And I know that sounds weird and cringe, like, oh, my dark side, but I promise you, this is the reason I'm still in the gym. It's because I use my dark desires. Now, what I mean by dark desires is you have a reason you actually want to build this physique. Like, don't lie. You know the reason I'm talking about too. You want to get girls. You want to become more attractive. That's it. Like, there's some cringe incels out there are like I had a guy comment on one of my videos once, oh, we don't train for women because they're just a waste of time and they're useless. We train for respect. It's like, you stop being weird. Stop being weird, bro. You want girls, it's just that you're not getting them. And because you're not getting them, it's easier to say, girls are a waste of time, they're useless anyway, they're just a distraction. Like, no. Because if it was your bedtime, and we put, like, your type in front of you, you're not, oh, I'd just go to sleep. No, you wouldn't. You wouldn't go to sleep. So you do care about girls. You probably want this physique. Like, not you. These guys want the physique for girls, but they're too scared to admit it. I have the balls, like, because I actually have two. I have the balls to hold my hand up and say, yeah, I go to the gym because I want to be more attractive to girls. And that's not a bad thing. That's a great thing. Because if that stops you from being a loser who just sits on his bed all day playing video games, if that stops you from being a dirty little wanker, if that stops you from eating a bunch of junk food, that's a great thing. These guys will shame us for wanting to get girls. Like, that's not a biological, that's not normal. And they'll stop you from achieving your goals because of it. So don't listen to these guys, because I promise you, you don't want to be like these guys who say girls are a distraction. You really don't want to be like these guys. Trust me, once I admitted to myself that I want to build this physique solely to become more attractive to girls, I promise you, I haven't missed days in the gym. I really don't miss days in the gym. It's like weird for me to miss a day in the gym, and I mean that. And you can get to that point too, if you just be honest with yourself. Why do you really want this physique? And don't, please don't lie to yourself. You probably want this for girls, but because of society and social conditioning, and then these incels are like, girls are a distraction, girls not even this, and then there's people like, you don't even need the physique, girls don't care about you. But when you're hearing all of this stuff, it's so easy and comfortable for you to say, I don't want this for girls, I'm doing it for me and my health. It's easy for you to say that, but just be honest. You want this for girls. You might also want it for respect from men, but there's a true, deep, dark reason. The reason I called it dark desires is because we can't really say this out loud. Saying out loud, I want to build this physique to get girls, is seen as cringe. But I promise, if you don't have to admit it to anyone, by the way, I'm doing this for your benefit, but you don't have to admit this to anyone else, because you'll just get it'll be social suicide basically. But at least admit it to yourself, because that'll be your secret weapon. Because I promise you that will motivate you more than anything else, and you already know it. And so it'd be stupid for you not to use this. So all that to say, link this pursuit of building an attractive body in order to get girls, or in order to make more money or get more respect from guys to increase your social status, whatever it is, because I promise you, it'll work. It'll just work. And now that you've learned that, with all this supercharged motivation, you want to be able to make sure that you're using it as best as possible. And that is why I have made my aesthetic body course. This will literally give you all you need to build that aesthetic body that gets attraction from women, that gets respect from men, that gets everyone's approval. I promise you, this physique that I teach you to build will get you that. And so if you don't want to waste time, because motivation is great, but if you're not using it correctly, you're going to be wasting time regardless. The aesthetic body course will make sure that doesn't happen to you. And so you'll be ahead because you have supercharged motivation and you know exactly what you need to do. So go and check that out right now. The first link in the description. Now, the third motivation hack is simply just to take things one step at a time. And I know that sounds cringe, but it's true. There'll be times when it's raining outside and you're in your pajamas. Like that usually happens to me. I'm in my pajamas, it might be raining outside, I'm hungry, all of this stuff, and it's like, I don't want to go. But then I think to myself, alright, but I don't usually what happens in these scenarios is that you're thinking about the height of the discomfort. Maybe it's walking out in the rain, or it's actually lifting that hard set in the gym. All these like really uncomfortable thoughts of doing hard work are coming into your head. But you don't need to do that right now. You see, the mindset you need to have is just, I don't need to do that right now. All I need to do right now is get in my gym clothes and take off the pajamas. And then after that, I need to, I don't know, pack my bag for the gym. Maybe I've got lifting straps and a belt, and I gotta pack that. That's easy. I gotta put my shoes on. That's easy. Maybe I eat a quick snack before I go to the gym, and then after that, I brush my teeth because I'm not a tramp, and I brush my teeth before I go outside. You better do that. And then slowly but surely, then it's like, okay, next step, put in the gym playlist, walk to the gym. By then, you're motivated and you're ready. You're like, oh yeah, you know what? I'm actually ready for this. The reason this mindset works is because it gradually pushes you. You don't need to do you don't go from 0 to 100 in reality, but your brain can. And when your brain does that, you'll not go to the gym because right now, imagine we teleported you. You're in pajamas. You're hungry. You haven't brushed your teeth. All of that stuff. And we teleport you to the point where you're doing like the hardest set of barbell squats in the gym. You're not going to be able to do it. But when you like warm up by putting your clothes on, by doing all of this stuff, by taking it one step at a time, you will become ready for it. I hope that makes sense. My mission with this YouTube channel is to give young men real aesthetic bodybuilding knowledge, because I promise you, you will see all those YouTubers in the fitness industry using the term aesthetic body, and they don't give specific advice in terms of building the aesthetic, the attractive body. They'll just give you the same bodybuilding advice that literally every other YouTuber gives you. I'm giving you special knowledge, I promise you that. I'm giving you special knowledge you won't find anywhere else on the internet. You haven't ever seen another fitness YouTuber talk about using your dark desires to get more motivation. You've never heard that. And I give you my word that if you subscribe to this channel, it'll be your secret competitive advantage. You will get the aesthetic body way quicker than anyone. You'll just get it in general, because most of these YouTubers won't even help their subscribers. I'm giving you knowledge in order to help yourself. You better not waste your time just watching these videos but not taking action. Because when you follow my advice, you will get the aesthetic body. You will become more attractive to girls. You will get more respect from men, and you will see that in your real life. I promise you, please believe me, this stuff is real. This stuff is real. There's a lot of people online who will be like, oh, what you see on social media isn't real. I'm giving you my word, this stuff is real. If you follow my advice, you will experience a better life. You will experience more attraction from women, more respect from men, because you built this physique. And if you want to fast track to that physique, I've told you again, my aesthetic body course is the first link in the description. I promise you, it'll give you everything you need to get this aesthetic body, and it'll fast track your progress. Now, don't get me wrong, if you can't afford it, no pressure, that's calm. You can still watch my free videos, but I give you my word, when you have the money, buy the aesthetic body program. It will give you it'll be your life and savior in terms of building this aesthetic body. And with that being said, safe.